First I started painting the white surface that I was unmasked with Tester's enamel cherry red, I believe is the color. The flocking color is from Model Car Garage. It's bright red. I kind of did this to kind of offset the reds between the interior and the interior. I wanted it to look slightly different from the exterior of the car. So this was the look I was trying to achieve. So I looked up a few videos on YouTube, and this is my first time at doing flocking, so I kept the paint wet and just kind of tried to cover everywhere I could. I had some bleed through, but overall not too bad. I was pretty happy with the end result. So now I'm going to take the flocking and I'm going to try to pour it into the tea strainer without getting it everywhere, which didn't prove to be as bad as I thought it would be. So I poured a generous amount in and gently tapped the side of the tea strainer until it covered the paint. A little bit of a struggle in some areas, as you can see, but we managed to get it done. Excuse my head. And then just top off the excess. And I seen I needed a little bit more, so I got a little bit more coverage with the flocking. Really easy process, a lot easier than I thought it would be. I honestly thought it would be a lot harder to achieve this look, but it came out pretty good for, I guess, my first time. I'm pretty happy with the results, like I said before. Like, yeah, the Model Car Garage, I guess they get a good thumbs up from me because their flocking looks great. So now I'm just finishing off painting. You can do it all at once, or you can do it in sections from what I was told, so I tried to do mine in sections to make sure that the paint was still wet when the flocking was hitting it. Although it is Tester's enamel, and we all know what they're like. It could be months before it's ever dry again. So anyways, just making sure I'm covering everything up here. Getting used to this camera stuff. Sorry, my hands aren't quite on camera. Okay, and tapping away our flocking, just trying to get even coverage, so you know it replicates a carpet interior. So I'm doing a red and white interior on this car. Yeah. So just making sure I get everything covered. As you can see, we have a nice carpet interior now. Just getting coverage. Now we'll start panel lining the interior. I started panel lining before I hit the record button, so that's why I think you're getting some footage with some panel lining already done. Anyhow, I'm just making sure here to hit all the crevices to make sure it provides a layer of darkness. I'm using dark gray panel liner for the white interior on this. I felt black was just a bit too dark. I asked a couple of other modeling friends of mine, and they told me to try the gray panel liner from Tamiya. I really liked it. I thought it went down great. I had to go over it a little bit with the thinner and a cotton bud, but I lightened it up and made it look pretty good. I think it looks a lot better than it would have if I didn't do it anyway. So, that being said, with my big head in the way here, I'm just trying to get the door panel lines. There's quite a few of them on this car, so it took quite a bit of time. Just making sure to sort of lightly hit the line and let the paint carry itself along the crevice. Panel liner is very thin enamel paint, so over top of a TS paint like this, it should be okay 9 times out of 10. I mean, I've never had a problem. The only time I have had problems is when I haven't used primer and haven't done things correctly preparation wise. So I'm a little out of shot here. That's because I had to see what I was doing, and my camera mount currently is at its maximum height, so this is the best shot you're going to get for now. What I'm going to do later on is I'm going to build my own camera mount. I've been watching some YouTube videos, and this should cure this problem in my videos in the future. As you can see, just lightly hitting the lines with the paint and letting capillary action take them through. Just making sure all the lines are covered. So next, I took some Tamiya enamel thinner on a cotton bud, and I started wiping down the vents for the dashboard. I used black panel liner for this because I wanted to simulate darkness on the dashboard in between the slats on the vent. So I'm just lightly taking the cotton bud and taking it over the raised surface to bring back the red. So now that I have the dashboard all cleaned up, I'm going to prepare to test fit it, see how it fits into the interior tub. I'm just slowly cleaning up. Okay. So after test fitting, I'm just gluing some contact points. It connects on the center console and the 2 indentations on the front of the interior tub. So I'm using Tamiya extra thin cement. Awesome stuff. If you don't use it, I'd recommend it. And of course, it's a perfect fit. By the way, I also used the CA glue to get the front bucket seats on. I didn't know whether or not Tamiya would work over top of the flocking material. Here we are now. We're just going to start off with putting the distributor on the engine. I assembled most of it off camera and before painting. The air cleaner went on before camera. I just didn't get it on tape. I don't know what happened. I thought I had it on camera, but I guess I didn't hit the record button or the footage was lost. I'm not quite sure what went on. Anyways, the distributor proved to be a little bit of a challenge. well, let's just say eventually we got it no problem. I, of course, knocked the air cleaner off and had to reattach it, but no big deal. The kit came with some chrome parts that were extra, so I decided to add them to the engine for some extra pizzazz, I guess you could say. So here I decided that the chrome parts looked a little bit too toyish on the engine block, and I decided to give them a couple of coats of TS80, 3 coats to be exact. I decided to flat them out to make them look more of like a cast metal appearance and not so, I don't know, foil-like. I can't really explain how I felt about the chrome, but anyways, they came out really nice after 3 coats. Yeah, so I guess I'll just speed the footage up and play some music for you guys. We've now jumped back to the bench to panel line all the chrome parts that we just flatted with the TS80. Yeah, same process as the interior. I usually wait about 15-20 minutes and then I'll go at it with a dry cotton bud to see what I can take off with just that, and if I don't like what I'm seeing, I'll go at it with a little bit of enamel thinner to get rid of what I can. I also did the front grille. I black washed the front grille, and I'm just taking off the black off the raised surfaces here. I thought it provided a pretty nice effect. Don't know if I did it too well though. I'll let you guys be the judge. I mean, it is what it is. So here we're just attaching the gear shift to the interior. A little small dab of glue and just pressing it in place firmly. Just making sure it's positioned properly. Now we're just going to take the black wash off with a dry cotton bud. I find the black wash provides a little bit of depth to the flatted metal that we've just created. I try to get it on all the nooks and crannies, make it stand out. So I'm pretty happy with that. Now we jump back to the engine block. We are going to attach the chrome cylinder head covers. They went on pretty good for the most part. I had some problems at first getting them in place. But you know, that's why you test fit. So here I am applying the glue, just a light amount. You don't need to drench it on or soak it on. Just a small amount. And then press in place. Okay, so we got that in place. Now we flip around to the other side. Again, just a small amount along the perimeter of where the part's supposed to go. You want that plastic to melt so it bonds. There we go. And we'll push home. And she's attached. So okay, now we have an engine block pretty much built up. All we gotta do is attach the belt and fan. Now I have the engine block in my disc bay vise. This is an extremely handy tool for stuff like this. The round rubber tubes around the dowels really hold things in place and don't damage anything. So here I'm just attaching the solenoid. And that went in really easy. Now I'm starting to attach the fan belt alternator fan assembly to the front of the engine block. I had to do this off camera. It was too hard to get everything in place correctly and not be on camera at the same time, so I kind of had to sacrifice a little bit here and kind of work as best as I could with what I had at the time. This will get better. Please stick with me, folks. I'm really trying. Okay, so now we got it together. Just seeing how it's going to fit on. And a little glue in the application points. There's two little holes on the front of the engine. And just like that, we're in. Now I'm going to apply super glue, CA glue actually, to the mounting points on the engine. I didn't feel like the Tamiya extra thin would hold it well enough when I was test fitting the engine in advance, so this is why I'm using CA. You don't need to use much, that's why I'm only putting a little drop on. I don't really need too much more than that, to be honest. And now we're about to position the engine and put it in place. I'm just making sure it's in the correct position. So it was already in a weird spot because when you set it on the ground, it would push the engine block up. So I had to kind of rest it on a surface up high. I kind of let it dry for a few minutes. So now we are getting into the wheels. These resemble Dayton 100 spokes. I always like those wheels. They're kind of an iconic lowrider sort of wheel from what I could see online. So yeah, I'm just cutting them off the sprue now. And then next is the knockoffs. I think these really set the tires off and make them look unreal, like just awesome. These rims, I can't say nothing bad about them. I think they're great. They fit right to the tires from the kit. I didn't have to buy any aftermarket tires or anything like that. They pretty much just fit. Here we go. I'm just cutting off the knockoffs. Now that we have all the rims and the tires, we're going to put the knockoffs on each wheel. Just needed a little bit of glue, and I scraped away the gold surface in advance to promote adhesion. So, quick push and they're on. Here I had to drill the rims out with a 1.5 mil drill bit. It wasn't too much bigger than that. I just had to expand the holes for the axle to fit. This was probably the hardest part of the whole build, and that was getting the axle through the engine and then through the hole on the other side and then attaching the tire to the other side. I struggled greatly with this, but after a while I was able to get it. Now we're going to jump down to the photo booth and take a look at the work we've accomplished today.